How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is my second take on this because the mic, I don't know, it just stopped working, so that was kind of funny. But today we're going to be talking about business matters, and that is customers and how stupid they are. You know, you get these customers that leave bad reviews. You know, of course you're always going to get some flakes that leave bad reviews. You know, we've had them in the past. Like we had one, and you can see right on our Google review page where it is closed when they said they would be open. I remember this because it says 5 months ago, 4 months ago. I think the other day it said 4 months ago, but 5 months ago roughly. Yeah, well, that's when we were moving here. And we remember when that review came in specifically. Why? Because we were literally moving and there was like that other space was like half empty. Like we were moving, we weren't looking to update stuff. In fact, we didn't even really have like the exact address, what the postal would use for this location. We wouldn't have showed up on maps because, well, this location wasn't on the map. We actually had to go and tell Google that this location is here on the map and do all that stuff. So that took a little bit of time, but this person showed up to the old location and just basically said they were closed when they said they would be open. We laughed at that because we literally were there that day, all day, tearing down the slat wall on the wall. So if you would have walked up, we would have noticed you and we would have said something, but they didn't. And so thus it's probably a fake review. As my buddy Aaron had told him at the time, we are currently in the process of moving. Sorry we missed you. Yeah, because, so you get these crazy reviews, then you get the fake reviews. Like we have one from Priscilla, which was 2 months ago because she dates or wife or whatever she is to Colorado Caddy, who is, Gabriel Gonzalez. It's public information, so I can say that. He is a known felon. He is a known murderer. Well, allegedly murdered somebody, and guess what? The witness happened to die at the time. I guess he was young. He was 18 at the time. I kind of talked about this before. But anyways, so he had the missus of whatever relationship they're in leave a negative review for us. That's kind of funny because they've never been in our store. They have never done business with us. Not a legitimate review. So you get these reviews, right? Well, the one I want to go to is a guy that left this yesterday. In fact, it was buried in the phone under a bunch of junk shit. And we don't check our phone all the time. Why? Because we're a shop, so we're working on bikes. We had a ton of bikes in, and we got them out for servicings. Surprisingly, a lot of them during the holidays, even though we weren't really open. We kind of were open. It was kind of like a gray area because it was holidays. I want to spend time with my family. Business partner want to spend time with his family. And if you don't know, this is really a one-man business. It's me here. I handle the website. I handle the taxes. I handle, being here selling product. I handle a lot of aspects of this business, like running to the bank, taking cash to the bank, getting cash, doing wire transfers, doing this, doing that, doing a lot of the business side, doing the taxes coming up. So like the other day, I've been doing inventory. The phone was ringing. I was like, fuck this, but I have to get this done. There's things I have to get done. And if the phone is ringing and ringing, we're not going to pick up. I'm going to change the message on our shop phone to basically say what my buddy does at his shop out in Montrose is that I check it once a week and we'll give you a call then. Otherwise, come in. Because if you come in person, okay. Now, I know some of you will be saying, well, if I come in and you're not there, well, send us an email. We always tell people email is probably the best way to contact us because with an email, we can arrange a time to be here. I think we're going to go to more of you make a scheduled appointment and we will be there for that appointment. If we say we can't be there till 5 p.m. at night, we can't be there till 5 p.m. at night. If we say, hey, noon to 1 works, and we're here and you don't show up, that's on you. But I think we're kind of done with the game of Here's the set hours, or trying to have set hours, because that doesn't work for myself or the business partner. He's active military. So active military, that's his full-time job. My full-time job, I guess, is here. But at the same time, especially as spring and summer come and fall, I have events planned, I have rides, I have an adventure bike. I'm going to be out there hitting trails, hitting riding, and seeing the country. So our hours are going to be really strange. So that's why it's going to be more scheduled hours. Hey, you need your bike worked on? Here you go. This is when you can drop it off. Hey, you need this? This is when you can pick it up. Hey, I'm sorry, it's going to be more boutique like that, because we value our time with our family and friends. We value our time, the short time we have on this earth. God forbid something happens tomorrow. I don't want to be the guy that says, I wish I would have made more time for that. Sorry. My family and friends come way before customers. I'm sorry. They come way before customers. That's what I really want to say. Maybe that's poor business. I don't know. I don't care. That's how it's going to be. And when you're around the holidays, expect a small business to have weird hours. Expect that. I'm a one-man shop, basically. Aaron comes in around 4 to 5. That's not much time, right? So expect weird hours. Like, I was here at 7:30 in the morning today. Why? Because I woke up and I was like, I'd go in. So I came in. That's how it is. That's small business life. I got to run to the bank. Like yesterday, somebody called. They said, hey, the Cove is done. I looked at the weather. I was thinking about getting it today. It's snowy. It's wet. It's cold out there. I was like, no, I'll be right down. So I left and went down and picked it up. So that was a good, by the time I go down there, load it, I also had to get gas. Yeah, it's a good hour of my day. And then I came back, I dropped it off. I was here for 30 minutes. I literally left to go get my daughter from school. I got my daughter from school. By the time, I get back down here is typically 4:30. So I'm only here for a few more hours. Or if it's a karate night, because my daughter does after school activities. So I pick her up from school. My wife takes her to school. I pick her up. That's our arrangement. That's how we have to do it. And that's how it's going to be done. I'm sorry if that inconveniences you. But, at the same time, I don't go around leaving 1-star reviews because a business is closed. I also, knowing that they're small, don't just show up to a business without calling ahead. Hey, are you going to be there? Oh, great. I'll be right down. Or, hey, can I come down? Okay, cool. I won't be down, So, Mr. Alex, I noticed this guy, his name's Alex. This guy, Alex, left a text on the shop phone. He did. And I remember seeing one of them, and it was like, are you still open? And I saw it like on Friday. So we had New Year's Eve. We had New Year's Wednesday. And then Friday, I was out riding. Enjoying my life, enjoying the vacation other people have off with my friends. And by the way, it was my fucking birthday Friday. So yeah, I did stop in here. I did, so I did stop in, but asking, are you still in business? That's what he said. Are you still in business? I'm not going to respond to that because we've already talked to you on the phone. We talked to you on the phone previous Wednesday. So this is what happened, folks. This guy, give you a little background. This guy, Alex, I believe he's Russian or something, just to give you a cultural overview, because that does paint a picture of how people expect things in life. If you've ever lived in any other country like I have, people in different places have different ways of expressing themselves and communicating, and they come off kind of harsh, and they don't mean to. That's just how they are. So he's always come off as like this harsh guy, like kind of rude. Most Americans would be like, wow, that's a pretty rude dude. But he just comes off that way because he's Russian. So Alex called us last week on New Year's Eve. We happen to have the shop phone. Yes, we happen to be open. Yes, we were delivering a E-Ride 3.0 to a customer in Fort Collins. So we were way up there. He calls us. We're driving up there, and he's like, hey, having problems with my e-box. And, of course, they never tell you who they are or anything. Like, how many bikes we've sold? I vaguely, the voice sounds familiar. I'm trying to put it together. Oh, okay. And we can barely hear you in the car. You have a hard accent to understand. So that's also, you got to realize that if you're a foreigner trying to do business in the U.S., or even if you're a southerner or from a different place doing business, your accent, just realize your accent might be very hard to understand. And that's not knocking the person, that's just reality of it. So you call, the car's loud, and you're on speakerphone, Aaron's listening, I'm listening, and you say you have a problem. Okay. I think you also asked if we were open at that time. Yeah, we're still around. We moved. Oh, yeah, I know you. I know you're at a different location. I went back in the text, and sure enough, he must have contacted about a flat tire. He might have even come in. I can't remember if he actually came in or not, or ghosted us on coming in with the bike. I don't remember since we've been at the new location. So, yes, he has been here. He knew about the new location. He also says he wants to order a e-box dragster. His son really wants an e-box dragster. Well, we haven't done anything with e-box in a long time, and it's been over a year. And let me see, I'm gonna have so communicating with the UK takes some time. Time change. This guy already knows we're out of the UK because I've told him that in the past when we had to replace his lever. He was very difficult when he bought that bike because his son dropped it over. He says, oh, it was just on the grass and the lever broke and the lever is shit. He was trying to get a fucking free lever when they dropped the bike. It doesn't matter how hard the fall. It doesn't matter if you went down at 60 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, or it was sitting there on the kickstand sunk into the grass and it fell over. You got to pay. He thought that was going to be warranty, and it wasn't warranty. So he ended up paying for a new brake lever, which is the whole thing on those because, they're an $1,800 bike. $1,800 bike, it's a $500 bike manufactured in China. So by the time the importer gets their cut and we get our cut, it's an $1,800 bike. We make very little on the bike. The importers make, considering the hassle, it's a big hassle with these smaller bikes, cheaper bikes, because you don't make much on them, and then you have to deal with customers like Alex that are very demanding. So anyway, we replaced the lever, he paid for the lever, and out he went. So a year, I would say, he says less than a year. I think it's been over a year, but okay, whatever. He's now contacted, he has problems, he wants to buy a dragster. Well, you have such bad experience with the e-box V2 that you want to buy a dragster? That makes no sense. So, I reached out to them. I've been waiting back. I only just heard back from our guy over at e-box the other day. Again, New Year's, holidays, all that good stuff play into the UK also. And then the time change and all that. So guess what? There's no dragsters available till the end of January, if not into February. So good luck there. So I just found that out, and then he left this 1-star review before I could get back to him. And no, we're not officially, if you go by our sign, we're not officially open on Sundays. And he left a message, or a text, I should say. I keep saying message, but a text. He left a text on Sunday. Then he left a text Tuesday or something, or Monday. I don't know what day. But we're not open Sundays and Mondays like most power sports. And yes, we're small, so we might be closed other days, and we might be running errands. We might be grabbing lunch. In fact, I might actually go grab lunch today. Why? Just kind of a F you to this customer. Yes, I'm going to put a note on the door saying, out to lunch. Because, we like to eat too sometimes. And we like to spend time with our family too. I love seeing my wife. I love seeing my daughter. But only you're allowed to see your wife and kid. No one else is allowed to see their kids, spend time over the holidays. Only you're allowed to do that. I want to know, why did you have fucking time off from work? Who let you off from work? Shouldn't you been at work? That's how you feel about us. So maybe you should have been fucking at work. I'm just saying. So yesterday, oh, and by the way, one more text on the phone. I guess before he left this nice review of his, which I'll share on the screen, but he basically threatened that he was going to leave. He's going to start to leave negative reviews. Huh. You make a threat like that and then you expect help? I mean, what did you expect from that? Oh yeah, I just actually responded to it. I just went through the phone, found his message. Like I said, it was buried. We've been busy. We've been trying to get bikes we've been servicing out of here, which we finally basically caught up and accomplished. So we have been busy working. This is another thing with small business, especially a shop. We cannot work on bikes if the phone is ringing nonstop. So don't expect me to pick up the phone, because every time I pick up the phone, I got to stop working on a bike. I got to stop helping a customer. I got to stop doing whatever it is to answer your call, which could be valid, but a lot of times, let's admit this here. Come on, you're big boys, you're big girls, you can admit it. A lot of the calls are bullshit calls. If it's not a telemarketer, it's somebody saying, what's the price of an E-Ride 3.0? Well, what the price is what it says everywhere else, because we can't advertise a different price. So that is the price. If you want to haggle, come on in. We can haggle. Due to various contracts you sign with various companies, not to point any of them out in particular, I don't want to get in trouble, but they set prices. We have to advertise the manufacturer suggested retail. Now, once you're inside a business, you can haggle all you want. So yes, make an appointment. Best way to make an appointment with us is to email us. I even have that on our door. I don't even have our phone number as best way of contact. I say best way of contact, and I give the email. Why? Because that goes to myself, goes to the business partner. We're both on the same page, and we can schedule you in to drop off your bike or whatever it is. If there's something simple wrong with it, you can also send us pictures that way. It makes it really easy to deal with people. Plus, a document, it's in writing. It's better than text, because text goes to the phone. We only have the phone if we have the phone. This Alex guy also mentioned that, well, you saw the text. Yeah, I briefly recall seeing the one that said something about, are you still in business? And I laughed and just put the phone down, because we've already talked on the phone. I didn't know if that was an old thing, what was going on there. I did not know what you were getting at. And if we're out of business, why are you even texting us asking that question? And again, it baffled my mind, so I wasn't even going to respond to it. So anyways, that's a little background of Alex in the past. So, I think it's been over a year. He says less than a year, but I'm pretty sure it's been over a year. And we make it pretty clear to customers, you have to in a small business, that please email us. Please, before you drive down here, call us. If you don't hear from us, don't fucking drive down here. Don't drive here. And you have no right to complain, because we tell everyone this. Just let us know. Let us know when you're coming down. If you say you're going to be here at 1 o'clock, and then you're not here at 1 o'clock, and then we take off at 1:30, and you had no follow-up, don't complain later that, oh my God, I got there at 1:30 and no one's there. Well, yeah, maybe we had to go do something. We were squeezing you in. I could have postponed, but I need to get that done so I can get back, or whatever, It's small business life, man. You got to understand that. And if you don't understand that, and you don't understand how holidays mean a lot to a small business, having days off, That's why we're going to a scheduled. Make an appointment, man. Make an appointment. But here, let's dive into what he said. He says, don't do business with them. Wow, that's pretty strong, Alex. That's pretty strong. I purchased an electric bike less than a year ago, and now that it started having issues and needs repairs, they have been completely disappeared. Well, no, you had a flat tire. We did that. We had the brake lever. We did that. I think you had something else, and I'll give you that early on that we took care of right away. So no, we've been there for the repairs. So your review already has been utter bullshit. You're the one that thinks we're out of business. So why? I don't get it. So then he says, they ignore calls and messages, and whenever you try to visit in person, no one is on site. Very disappointing experience and zero customer support after the sale. What are you talking about? We supported you after the sale. In fact, we don't even, like I said, do e-box really anymore. I don't even know where we stand with them. So it was weird reaching out to them for a price, because I was not planning to do that, to get a one-off of a dragster, which, by the way, the dragster sold very crappily. Getting rid of 2 of the dragsters took forever. So no, we are not buying more dragsters. And yeah, I think that fad of e-box have sailed. Like, no one needs a damn e-box. So Aaron responded to him yesterday after he saw that message come in. He said, well, that's far from the truth. I show no voicemails or emails from you for starters. Messages can be filtered as spam and is unreliable. We are very busy this time of the year. Email is the best way to get a hold of us. See, just what I told you. Yeah, and that's true too. Like, don't rely on one way to be like, I contacted you. Yeah, man, your message was like buried under a shitload of text messages, a bunch of bullshit, So no, because of the holidays, I'm only just now trying to get caught up with some of this stuff, because it was the holidays. Our main priority for a lot of people were the bikes we had in, was trying to get the bikes out because it was nice weather, so they could, go out there and enjoy the nice weather. That's the only reason why we were here mainly during the holidays when we were here, was out of service to customers, respecting that it's nice weather and their kid might want to ride the bike and this and that. We were trying to do our best to be here to service those customers, and then that's it. Adding new customers during that time, I did not care about at all. Not one little bit did I care about adding another customer during that time with another broken bike, because we were already playing catch up. And that's the other thing. People don't understand that when you have such a shop, you're in line, man. You come in here and you see 4 bikes, and then you call 2 days later saying, well, where are you at on my bike? Where I'm at on your bike? Well, I'm about 4 weeks out, maybe. I don't know. We haven't got that far. Let me get these other bikes done so I can get to your bike. But by you contacting me thinking, well, we magically get to it in a day or two, is crazy when you walked in here and saw a bunch of other bikes. And we even told you we have all these other bikes. Get in line. And that's how it is. That's just, what? You're supposed to skip the line? You're special? I don't understand. So he's assuming we even had time, and really during the holiday time, we didn't really have time to take another bike or look at it. We would still have his bike right now, even if he had brought it in a week ago, because we only just the other day got caught up on a bunch of these bikes. And in fact, the bikes we have here, as I'm looking, we have a kid that car pulled out in front of him, so we're waiting for that person is going to probably come in. They said they were going to pay for the bill to fix his bike. I'm not going to disclose how much, but it's substantial. They acknowledge fault, so they're taking care of that. I guess they have money, so that's cool. I'm glad he's being taken care of and he wasn't injured or anything. And then the other bike we have here, we figured out it's the battery. So they're looking for a used battery. I guess they found one and they have it on order, which is much cheaper than a new battery. Of course, hopefully that used battery doesn't have issues, but that's the best we could figure out. It's either the controller or battery. So, we're pretty sure it's the battery because we tried a different battery, and the bike worked. So it has to be the battery because It's only this battery having issues. And they want some tires put on, which I can do that fairly quickly, so I'll probably knock that out here today. But that's it. We're finally caught up, and we have one more. It's in the back, and we're looking up. I think they are, and we are. They found some aftermarket brakes that work on a Throne Serpent, so we reached out to the company to see if we can sell their product. This might take a few days, so I don't know if it's best for them to end up ordering that or not. We're gonna give it a couple days here and see. This stuff takes time. So even if his bike was here, his kid's bike was here, the E-Box, depending what it is, it might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. We don't know what's wrong. He never told us what's wrong with it. He just said, bike has issues. If it's a flat tire, yeah, we could probably get to it right away, right? I'm just, but you can't skip the line is what I'm getting at, and we have other bikes here, especially holiday season. So back to his thing. About him, he drove here. So I think he lives like an hour away up in Highland Ranch or Lone Tree, Denver area. And he drove all the way down here without an appointment. But you'll see where this is a pattern because he didn't realize that I can click on it through Google reviews. You can click on and see what other reviews they've left. Well, apparently he likes to jump to the 1-star review. Real easy. Real easy. He's one of those guys that he's going to jump to that 1-star review really quick because it's not going his way and he's sad. So he's very disappointed in the experience. Zero customer support after sale. Well, like I said, we've supported him in the past, so he knows how things work around here. He knows we're small. He knows we've moved shops. So, every day I'm still organizing here. And like I had to do the inventory yesterday for tax reasons. So I did the inventory. The phone was ringing. I said, nah, not answering because every time I pick up the phone, it's less I get done. I need to get this stuff done. It's important. You have to pay your sales tax. You have to do the inventory for your federal taxes. You have to do, there's so much you have to do. So I'm the guy that's doing all this. I have to dedicate, like today I'm just doing it. I'm not picking up the phone. It's just how it is. So, I think Aaron responded to him very well about the, that's how it is. We have no voicemails and all that. Yeah. Once we started digging, I guess there were some, they never popped up on the phone. So I guess there was once you went into the app for T-Mobile, but it didn't show us. So if he drove all the way down here and he can comprehend English, which I don't know if he can, but I'm assuming he can, that he would have read the sign that says the business hours, and the beginning of that sign talks about how we have families and other obligations and, other businesses that we have to deal with are only open during our business hours. So like a bank, they're open 9 to 5. When can I go to the bank? 9 to 5. So when are we open? 10 to 6. But I got to go to the bank. Well, that kills an hour right there. I got to pick my daughter up from school every day now that we're back in session from the holidays. So that's going to be, technically, I could leave here at like 2:50, get her, go home, be back here by, on a good day, 4. But I usually say 4:30, but I just tell people I'm going to be gone at 2. That way they don't dilly-dally and try and make it here at like 2:30. And that's another weird thing with customers. Customers, we'll tell them, like, we just had this happen with a guy. We said, yeah, this stuff happens with customers all the time. You tell them a time, you're like, I'm going to be there. I'm leaving at 5. Oh, the map shows that we're going to be there at 5:10. No, hold on. I just told you we're going to be there till 5. I'm leaving at 5. They don't understand that. They just don't understand that shit, It's like, come on, man. We got other things we got to do, other plans, dinner dates. Hey, by the way, it was my birthday during one of his messages. Oh, you saw my message, you saw my text and this and that. Well, you know what? It was my birthday. I went out for a fucking ride, man. That's where I was. You were wondering where we're at? I was riding. So just to show you how this guy is, I'm going to bring up I'm going to bring up his messages. So where's the good one? His reviews. So I'm going to bring up his reviews, because this shows you the type of person he is. So just 3 weeks ago, so during the holiday season, he left a review at the Sport Clips Haircuts of Lone Tree. It's 33 miles from us. This, like I said, 1-star review 3 weeks ago. I called ahead to check availability, but wasn't able to reach a real person. So he couldn't reach anybody. Key point here. Only an automated system. Okay. Which indicated there were openings. When I arrived in person, I was told there was no availability and ended up waiting over 2 hours to get in. It was extremely frustrating and a complete waste of time. Okay, so to the defense of Sports Clips, common sense plays a role here. In life, Alex does not have common sense. So first off, it was an automated system that you can make appointments. He decided not to make an appointment, but to just show up because he assumed there'd still be availability when he just randomly showed up. So he shows up to the Sports Clips to get a haircut and finds out there's no availability. Yeah, because they're all booked now since the time you called and since the time you went in. It's not like you said you called an hour before and there was well, then why didn't you just make it through the online system, the automated system? That's why they have that at Sports Clips, by the way. You know, this guy is just clueless. And then he waited 2 hours, so he wasted his time. Who wasted his time? Not Sports Clips. He wasted his time for a haircut. Did he really need the haircut? Could he have went another day or two? Let's be realistic here. I'm not waiting 2 hours for a haircut, so he wasted his own time. But this shows you that Alex jumps to a 1-star if, oh my God, I don't understand the procedure and I just randomly show up. That shows you right there. So he has other places he has left bad reviews. So 3 months ago at Gerber Collision and Glass Auto Body Shop in Highlands Ranch. It's 35 miles from me. And I don't have the whole expansion because this is just a screenshot, but I'll just read the beginning. Came here for an estimate from my insurance company and had to wait for the appointment for 2 weeks. When in those 2 weeks they rescheduled. Okay. And I don't know. It's just, okay, here's another one. Mountain Thunder Lodge. Also, he gave a 1-star. It's in Breckenridge. This was 3 months ago. Rude guy at the front desk. Tried to ask questions over the phone and never got any help. After that, he just hung up and never picked up the phone again. Yeah, I can completely understand why, because you're a rude guy. You come off as a rude guy. You come off as very harsh. People don't enjoy talking to you. I'm just saying, that's my personal experience with Alex. This one I did kind of expand more when I screenshotted it. This one, he also went to an auto body shop. It was 2 months ago. It must have been for that same car wreck. So this one is the Ideal Car Star Auto Body, and it's in Highland Ranch. 1-star. Don't bother with this place. They were recommended by my insurance, so I took my car there. Big mistake. Soon after, they called to say my taillight wouldn't be repaired because they decided it wasn't part of the accident. I told them multiple times that I know for a fact the scratch on the taillight wasn't there before. Instead of listening, they hung up on me because he's probably going around and around. They got other things to do. You saying that should be covered and them saying it's not. You know who makes that determination is the insurance adjuster, not the auto body shop. The insurance adjuster said that it's not covered. Auto body shops is saying, yeah, that doesn't look like that's part of the wreck. It's not going to be covered. So auto body shop, believe me, they will go to bat for you and try to get something questionable covered because they get paid money. So they're more than happy to fix stuff. And plus, we're talking about a scratch on a taillight, right? We're not talking about it's broken or anything. A scratch. So he's that guy. Later, I got another call telling me to pick up my vehicle. When I asked again about the taillight, they said they never repaired it because they still didn't think it was related to the accident. The woman on the phone was rude both times she called. She kept dismissing what I said and acting like she could decide for me what should or shouldn't be repaired. Yeah, like I said, it's the insurance adjuster that takes a look and decides what is or isn't repaired. Now, if you want to pay out of pocket, you just tell them, yeah, I'll pay out of pocket to buff that scratch out. You know, what can we do to minimize that scratch? By the way, if I recall right, he drives a Rivian. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I like electric cars. I like EV. I'm not saying that. It tends to be, for some reason, some of these car folk and their EVs are rude. They're just fucking rude. They're rude people, and he's one of them. And then there was one that, I probably sure went back more because he probably has more. It's not like they give you these in order. So I just randomly screenshotted some of his 1 star and was shocked that basically that Sport Clips one was identical about showing up and, oh my God, can't get you in type thing. Apparently he bought a sofa from Crate and Barrel in Denver, 46 miles away. I bought a couch from them for over $4,000 and it started falling apart less than 1 year. He loves that less than 1 year. So I wonder if he's always like less. Does that sound better? It's less than 1 year instead of saying, well, it's just over a year. Because like I said, his bike, I'm pretty sure is over a year, but he said less than 1 year. Yeah, he's a weird individual. That's just my opinion. I'm not giving his last name, and this is public reviews. These are reviews online that you leave for the public to see. Just as Alex. I won't even give his last initial. So, Alex. That's all we know. Alex. So you can't say like, hey, you pointed me out to everybody on social media and doxed me. No, I didn't. This is don't leave public reviews if you don't want somebody to read them one day. Not only are they refusing to order the warranty, but also keep emailing back and forth, promising to call back and then disappear. Well, because he provides a picture and the picture is pretty lame. Yeah, that was probably there from the get-go. He probably caused it, probably wear and tear. They're not going to cover wear and tear. It doesn't look like a craftsman defect. It doesn't even look like that big of a deal. But because it's $4,000, okay, get this. I paid $4,000 for my sofa too. Nice leather sofa from I'm trying to think of the place. It's a nice store in Springs. There's probably one in Denver, I assume. Can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but yeah, it's $4,000, and this is before things have gone up in price. And it took my wife and I a long time to pick out a sofa, buy a sofa, agree on. So we got the sofa. Then we had a baby. Big mistake. Big mistake having a sofa. Why? Because when you have kids, shit happens. Leather. Fingernails. She didn't know any better. She was a little toddler. Finally started writing. It was before the talking phase, but she's learning to write. And she took her nail and put Ella in the sofa and other like little scratch marks and stuff. And then animals and pets and all that. So we've already chalked it up to, it's $4,000. We're not buying another sofa until we are into our final home. Animals are done. Kids out of the house. No kid friends coming over or anything. We're not buying any other nice furniture. That's it. We're done. In fact, we might move overseas, but that's a whole different conversation. but The yeah. So he leaves 1-star reviews with ease. That's how this guy is. And that's sad. That's sad. But I might start doing like reviews of individuals on leaving public reviews on Google, because I can look up at a business and we can start. There's always those crazy reviews that you read and you're like, is this a fake review? What, this person is obviously mentally ill. What's going on? And I don't know. I think Alex is just a person that is like, I'm not getting it my way. He lacks communication. He's hard to understand on the phone. So we're supposed to, people are supposed to stay on the phone and try to figure it out. Hey, your bike's not working. Bring it in. How do you bring it in? Definitely don't just fucking show up, because we told you, show up, don't show up, call us. Oh, we didn't. It's the holidays. I have to really strongly stress that. It's the fucking holiday. The last 3 weeks, we've been in holidays. I'll say 3.5 weeks. Daughter's out of school. I need to do stuff. Wife needs to do stuff. We want to spend time together. We want to be with our friends and family. But yeah, we're still here trying to get bikes out for people, because it was really nice out. We could have been like every other business around here. When UPS talked to me, are you going to be around? I was like, well, I don't really know where. I'll kind of be here. If I know something's here, I try to be here. He's like, oh, okay, that's good. And I was like, I know, probably bad. I'm probably a bad business owner. And he goes, no. He goes, half these places, they're never around. And he goes, or it's holidays. Well, right now, they're off for 2 or 3 weeks. They just take the time and they spend it with their family. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel bad. So I'm more under the impression right now, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to take time off. Family comes first. Friends come second. My life also comes first. My mental well-being comes first. Whether or not I make you happy as a business owner, I mean, we want you to be happy. We want to provide great service to you, but everyone's service expectations is different. And what people tell you about their bikes is different. A lot of people won't tell you what happened with their bikes. They leave out details, key details, especially when you're repairing a bike. It might be nice to know that your bike is used as a rental, because that explains why there's these issues. You buying the bike used explains why there's issues. Omitting that information doesn't help us at all. In fact, we spend more time diagnosing you the problem, which we pass that cost along to you. So the more we know of how whatever happened, why it stopped working, what's it not doing right, is it making any sounds, is it doing, the more information you give us, the more details you provide, the better we can, and faster, thus less expense to you on trying to figure out what is wrong with the bike. Like I said, though, Alex, if he would have brought in that e-box, we would still be waiting for parts. And if we had to order anything from e-box, they were pretty much shut down too. And I don't know how much parts they have. So it might be a month long we have your bike. And I remembered he was hot to trot previously when he bought the bike. Everything was like this and that. And when he had to come down for that simple lever replacement, it was like this big ordeal. Like, yes, you have to drop off the bike. Yes, I have to replace it. I have to bleed it. Yes, there's an expense to that. Yes, we have to order the part and get it in. I think at that point he was lucky, because we had extra levers, I believe. I know there was a point when we first got them, we didn't have the levers yet, and then we did have somebody. Again, it's always the left side with these kids' bikes. I guess because you're probably right arm dominant and right leg dominant, that you drop the bike to the left because you kind of catch yourself on the right, and you don't catch yourself on the left. My guess there. But they break the levers, and they're cheap levers. They're mountain bike levers. It's an $1,800 product. That's not much money, because they manufactured it for $500. I guarantee it's probably $500 that it's manufactured for. So for $500, you think you're getting all name brand components? No, you're not. You're not even getting that on the $5,000-$6,000 bikes. Now, they're higher quality than that $1,800, but you're spending more money, so it's a little bit better parts. It's just like if you then step up to a $10, $12, $15,000 bike, you step up to my Cove back here, you're getting a lot better parts. It's just how it is. I don't understand what he wants, how we could satisfy him, how he would be pleased. I basically told him, he's basically no longer. When you leave a 1-star review, there's no coming back from that. If he would have just been like, in threatening to leave negative reviews is also like, what the fuck? I wish I knew where he worked because I'd leave 1-star review. I think he said he owned an escape room, but I don't know if it was this guy. So don't go out there trying to find this guy with an escape room because I don't even know if it was him. I just remember I thought it was a Russian guy that said, and we've had, for some strange reason, a few Russian people come in from rentals and buying and stuff. But my business partner, Aaron, says there's a lot of Russian presence here due to the military being here. So there's a lot of, I guess you would say, spies. And yeah, they try to catfish them and stuff all the time in the military at the bars and stuff. And there's places they shouldn't be going. And yeah. Anyways, so that's why there's a large Russian presence, tends to be in Colorado due to the military bases. So anyways, I hope this video helps you out. If you're starting a business, running a business, that you're not the only ones. Sometimes you have to fire a customer, and you know what? You're fired, Alex. We don't need you. We don't want you. We don't really do e-box anymore anyways. So yeah, there's bike repair places up in Denver that are closer to you. So why are you driving all the way down here when there's places? Oh, because you don't like them. Is that it? Because you don't like them, you come here. Well, now you don't like us. You're not welcomed here. So yeah, go elsewhere. Figure it out. Be a big boy. Buy some wrenches. Buy some tools. These bikes really aren't that hard to work on. And I'm hoping in the future, maybe in the summertime, putting on like a workshop day for these kids to come down, and we can talk about torque wrenches. We can talk about Allen wrenches. We can talk about using the proper tool to take off bolts. If it's not going right, maybe do a little training. Maybe do like a tire, buy your tires from us, come down here, do a tire, a free day where we all help each other and you learn how to do your own tires. Maybe I'll have tire spoons, to give you or sell you or something. I don't know. I kind of want to do something to give back to the e-bike community, and also to promote that some of the smaller stuff you can do yourself. And in a pinch, sometimes even if you have the money, doing it yourself is just more convenient than driving an hour down here, driving an hour back, leaving the bike here, then complaining that it's not done, then calling 4 days later saying, where's the part? I haven't heard from you, this and that, when we yet haven't heard from anyone else on the part. I don't know. So anyways, you all take care. Hopefully this new year starts out better for you than it has for, I guess, us here. And yeah, anyways, you all take care. Have a good one. Until the next one.